to infinity and beyond.
So on to our next topic, which is kind of carrying on from the Marvel Heroes discussion, was the last kind of new character for the current 2016 season was released, Nick Fury. He's out now. You can pick him up on the PC version, and I assume he's going to be out on the console version as well. I can't imagine they were not going to include him in there. Came out last week, but we had such a packed news week we held off to him. So, James, what was your initial thoughts of Nick Fury of Marvel Heroes now?
Disappointment. A lot of disappointment. The thing with Nick Fury, the character, really cool that they brought him in. He's not a character I would have expected. They are using the Samuel Jackson version of the character rather than the original. I'm sure we'll have a premium costume at some point that'll have the original Nick Fury, but whatever. Sam Jackson's the more familiar version. But he doesn't have any interesting abilities. He doesn't have any interesting abilities, and what ones he does have are stolen from other characters. He is literally just a mix of Winter Soldier and Black Widow and one or two other characters with a really annoying ammo mechanic stolen from Punisher. So that's my initial impression of Nick Fury, and obviously not very favorable.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, having never played as Punisher or Winter Soldier yet, for some reason I never got into going through all like the 1 to 10 just to kind of try them out. I was playing Nick Fury last night for about half an hour or so, and I was actually having a blast with him. Because, I'm just standing there shooting, and then I get out the machine gun, and I'm taking out... And I was taking out enemies so much faster than I would normally do. And go, hey, this is quite fun, actually. Because it turned it more into a shooting game rather than, like, a superhero game. And it completely changed them. I was running through the terminal, shooting stuff up, taking on bosses, and I was having a blast. I actually was really enjoying it, because the entire game mechanics seemed to change from... Because I like ranged... fighters in Marvel Heroes. I'm not so good on the I have to get up close and start punching and stuff. So I was finding like the machine guns and stuff where I only got them up to like level 7 or 8. I didn't go that too high, but I had a blast playing him, and it completely felt different. But there again, had I maybe played as Punisher or Winter Soldier, that wouldn't have been that was a new experience for me. So therefore, that was where the fun factor come into it. Had I already played the characters, I could maybe see, okay, this guy's not really that new. But I did have a lot of fun playing as him, and I could quite easily see myself kind of... I now think, obviously with the new Omega version coming out, if I'm going to look for some different kind of characters, I might try Winter Soldier or something, but I probably will want now a gun-dwelling player as one of my sort of characters to kind of have.
And I could definitely see them using Nick Fury instead of, say, Punisher or Winter Soldier in the Omega launch. Because as we know, the console version is not going to have all of the current roster. And they might add Punisher in, like, say, when his Netflix series comes out, assuming that the game is launched by then. But, yeah, if you haven't played Winter Soldier or Black Widow or Punisher, then, yeah, of course, he's perfectly fine. I still have issue with the ammo mechanic because I was constantly running out of ammo with the character, and unlike Punisher, who has a couple of reload abilities, he only has the one. So I found myself frequently just being like, all right, the only thing I can use right now is my pistol because I'm waiting for it to reload.
Yeah.
The other thing is, once you get past 30, you start unlocking his traits, just like all the other characters, of course. And he actually has some very interesting traits, which add henchmen to his team, shield agents and whatnot, and Dum Dum Dugan is one of them. A lot of people aren't really fans of them because they're very underpowered, but I actually like them because they kind of change his gameplay up a little bit. And I think that once you get past 30 and you start unlocking his special traits, he does become a better character. Yeah. But I still ran out of ammo all the freaking time, and that was really annoying.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, isn't it? A very different kind of style of play to maybe the superheroes, which makes sense. I remember with Disney Infinity, I didn't like using him in Disney Infinity either because he seemed so underpowered. You're standing there at the end of a building going, right, I've got to get up there. Oh, I have to go get the lift. Rather than Hulk just jumps out.
Grab onto the side and just start pulling himself up, yeah.
So I've never really been a huge fan of Nick Fury in any game because superheroes. He just, he's a guy with a gun. But it's kind of, as you said, he's got a different kind of weapons set to, the heroes.
And, in the movies, in the comics, in other games, he's not really supposed to fight. He's supposed to be the eye in the sky, watching over things and directing the battle. I mean, he's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Him actually getting into the fight means, things have already gone pretty bad. So, yeah, I mean, there's always that question. And when they first announced that Nick Fury was going to be one of the characters, it's kind of like, really? Sure. Yeah. But on the other hand, he is a very popular character, and he's been in more of the Marvel movies than most of the other characters have, so he's highly recognizable. And I can see why they would want to have him available for the launch, because there are people who will want to play with Nick Fury.
Yeah. It's a cool character, where, like you say, whether or not he should have been added a bit earlier on. I mean, he's not an epic kind of, oh my god, this one's made. But also, just in general, he needs to be slightly underpowered because he's a human with just a gun. So therefore, he shouldn't feel, if he goes up there and punches a villain, that it has the same effect as the Hulk. They should feel different. So I did feel that. I did feel that he felt like a human because of the fact that you had to keep away. You had to keep, if you were near villains, near bosses, you had to run away a bit and stand far back. You couldn't just be up front and close and personal, which personally for me is a little bit more fun from that kind of thing. But no, I enjoyed him. Again, it's that kind of thing of, now with Omega coming, I'm not really going to invest much more time in the PC version because of when I switch. But he seemed quite a lot of fun.
And I will say, it's always nice to hear Keith David doing more voice acting work, because I love his voice. And he was in Gargoyles. He's done a lot of stuff, and he is Nick Fury in Marvel Heroes. So I'm all for that.
Yeah, the voiceover was pretty good. It was definitely a good version of him. But yeah, it's that kind of thing of, like you said, he's a good character, but it was never a massive brand new character that's coming in. With so many other big characters out there now, but because their roster's pretty much mainly full up now, with all the big ones are all in there now.
Most of the big ones are in there. There's a couple left, but we'll see what's coming. They might be saving a couple for movie releases down the road.
Yeah.
And the big question now, of course, is he was the end of Advance Pack 3, which was supposed to be 2016, and now here we are a quarter of the way into 2017 getting the final character, and we don't know if there are even any other characters still on the docket for the rest of this year, because all their focus is on the console release. So we'll have to see if Nick Fury is the last character we talk about this year, or even for a couple months anyway.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you guys think of Nick Fury in Marvel Heroes. You can always get in touch with us on all the different social medias, and you can comment below.